beings can enter the atom and heal it. Well, we hear that in the yogic traditions. Yogis can develop what's called, what is it, anima siddhi? Anima siddhi, where they can enter the core of the atom and use it as a gateway to travel. Wouldn't that be interesting? Now, if that were true, we should be able to demonstrate or prove or test or falsify or verify that. And what they found inside the atom is a hyperconductor. What is a hyperconductor or a superconductor? It's something that has a coherent relationship with something outside of it and inside of it. Now, one of the things that we see with atomic structures and subatomic activity is an endless, it's like an infinite regress of integrated elements. Now, we learn about positrons, neutrons, protons, electrons, bosons, up quarks, down quarks, up tau's, down tau's, all these new subatomic particles, which are very kind of confusing because they're all seemingly having to be figured out how they integrate into a system that they still want to call chaotic. Now, if Krishna is present in his fullness in every atom, then we would also expect a kind of echo between the small and the big, wouldn't we? If Krishna is present in his fullness, I'll say that again, in every atom, that means that all the universes are present in every single atom. Otherwise, we're being cheated and lied to, and the scriptures are not telling the truth. Now, if that were the case, then why do the yogis talk about interdimensional psychic out-of-body teleportation? They've been talking about it for thousands of years. The great mystery schools have been talking about it. The Egyptians are talking about it. Aren't they? Aren't they? Yes.
Is this an atom?
This is an atom.
Why should we agree on that?
I'm not saying we should. In fact, when I brought this up, I said we have to take at face value that this is truly an atom. I'm not in a position to challenge them, but I'm going to pull apart their theory. And these people, I'm not exaggerating. Andre Linda, who's the head of CERN Laboratory, talks about chaos, chance, errors, mutations as a cosmic causality. Not just a Darwinian biocausality, but a cosmological causality. These guys need to be brought to task to show that even your basic, it's kind of like a visual motto, it's kind of like an image slogan, is demonstrative of the fact that you're cheating us. You're lying to us. We're being lied to, and they're getting paid £4.5 billion to build a new one, and nobody knows why they built the first one in the first place, did they? I mean, they said it was going to be giving us the God particle. It was going to teach us a little bit about black holes. It might create a black hole. They're going to help us understand the origin of the universe, the Big Bang and the singularity, antimatter. So many promises. But what happened when they flicked the switch? I didn't hear anything. Did you? Did you? I heard nothing. So this is a miscarriage of scientific authority. And science isn't just about technology. Science means to know. It doesn't mean to think or speculate or hope. It means to know. So we don't know if this is science or not.
This could be a theory.
It could be a lie. I could be cheating all of you inadvertently. But there are enough of these photographs coming out of CERN Laboratory and out of atom smashers that have given birth to a new series of disciplines called cymatics. People use the term morphic resonance, where we can see the relationship between information that's encrypted in one part of the universe, albeit an atom or a planet, and what happens in the rest of the planet. You've heard of Rupert Sheldrake and James Lovelock have written a series of books on the Gaia philosophy. Well, one of the reasons they have to admit this is not only do the meteorological systems, volcanological systems, tectonic and tidal shift systems look like the metabolism of a living entity, but if you take, for instance, a population of monkeys and you teach them how to fish because their habitat's just been destroyed, there's an example of this where they took a population of monkeys and some primatologists taught them how to fish for abalone. You know, mother of pearl? So they pull up these mollusks and they start eating them and washing them in the sea and behave in a way that primatologists had never seen before. What happens in the next few years, populations of monkeys in other parts of the world who didn't share Facebook or didn't bother telling each other, what they were doing the same thing. Now, how do you explain that? Without morphic resonance or an Akashic field or an intelligent ether that allows information, content, and quality to transport itself without a material interference. Yes, please.
Akashic field, what do you mean by that?
The Akashic field is a Sanskrit word for the ether, but it's encrypted with passive and active states of behavior. Passively, it's recording all information, all thought, all deeds, all history for all time. Actively, it's helping to feed karma into manifestation by the ether. And you can see that the ether is kind of like every atom creates a wave pattern. Every atom has a signature vibration. And that vibration is measured in terms of various forms of calibration, megahertz, sound, etc. And those wave patterns are always against the grid, right? And the grid is this continuum that allows the wave pattern to show up a rhythm. But that grid is like the ether.
So also the Akashic records now.
Exactly, the Akashic records. The Akashic field is not only a record-keeping matrix, but it's also an active synthesis system which feeds into our desire. It reciprocates. It's like the medium of love through which the divine is giving us what we desire.
So where are the Akashic records mentioned? Did you see
They're all mentioned all throughout various traditions. It's not just the Sanskrit Vedic tradition, although that's the seminal source. That's from
where are they mentioned in the Vedas?
They're mentioned, well, it's mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna refers to the Akash, which is the ether. But you have many, many references throughout the Puranas, throughout the Upanishads. It's there in the Yajur Veda in great detail. In fact, Ervin Laszlo, who's the founder of the Prague Institute for Consciousness Research or Noetic Sciences, he's an amazing scientist. He's written over 50 books that have been translated into like 23 languages. One of his most recent books is called Akash, Science and the Akash, an integral theory of everything. It's an amazing read. And it is so holistic because it doesn't deny consciousness as a causality. And unless we address consciousness as a causality, we won't get cause and effect in the rest of the stream of data that we call reality and nature and science. Yes, William?
So I was told that Akash also means time. Is that right?
It's integrated with time. Kala is time. Kala chakra is the wheel of time.
Oh, sorry, space.
Space, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people have translated it as sky or space. It's the interdimensional element that allows plasma, electricity, sound to vibrate. It's like the backdrop for all vibration. Now, see this? Pretend this is the heart. And instead of shooting a bullet into our hearts, imagine that we could prayerfully invite the sound vibration of God into the chambers of our hearts that would not create a fission event where everything blows up, but a fusion event that's called yoga, where the union of the soul and the supersoul occurs. And imagine if the sound vibration of the names of God could facilitate that union to where the shells of the soul start to expand and dilate beyond the outer reaches of the universe. The material cosmos would then seem like a dream. But that's what we're trying to inculcate through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that the sound vibration of Krishna is non-different. And Srimati Radhika, Hare addresses the goddess. It's a vocative tense of Hara. Hara is the name for Srimati Radhika, the goddess, who is so beautiful and so expert that she can steal even Krishna's mind. And so Rama is also refers to both the male and the female aspect of the divine. So by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, or any bona fide scripturally authenticated name for the divine, by resonating that continuously in the chamber of our hearts, we can destroy all fear, all laziness, all ignorance, and all doubt. I promise you this, because it's the truth. So say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So says Srila Prabhupada. So say all the great saints and mystics throughout history. They're not lying to us. And they agree because they